Today's message is Dare to be like Daniel. I'll also be posting this on YouTube as well. The message point tonight is we must live our lives in service and devotion to God, no matter the consequences. We must be completely 110% devoted to God. You know, when we're out in the world, we give the devil 100%, but we need to give God 110%. God needs to be first and foremost in our lives, nothing or no one before Him. Spouses should be second, only first to God, nobody else. Family should always be second compared to God. You know, God needs to be first and foremost in our lives. Anything we put before God becomes an idol, and the Bible says that He's a very jealous God. You know, Daniel, when things weren't always going his way, what did he do? He continued to pray. You know, sometimes in life, things don't always go like we think it ought to, but we ought to still continue in prayer. Today's verses is found in Daniel chapter 6, and you can turn there for a minute. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto him, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could not find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. You know, that's what people want to do today. Many people want to find fault in somebody else instead of looking at their own selves, because they get jealous. This said, these men, we not find any occasion against Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these 3 presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus to him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains, have consorted together to establish a royal statute, to make a firm decree, that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not charged according to the law of Medes and Persians, which alter not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing in the decree. Now when Daniel knew the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being opened in his chambers toward Jerusalem, he kneeled on his knees 3 times a day and prayed, and gave thanks before God, as he did aforetime. These men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of Medes and Persians, which alter not. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is the children of the captivity of Judah, reserve not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set in his heart on Daniel to deliver him, and he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, King, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians are, that no decree nor statute which the king established may be charged. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel, and cast him to the den of lions. Now the king spake and said to Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it, with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went into his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and he slept, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste into the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lament voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, who thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from these lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angels, and hath shut the lion's mouth, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him insolence was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then the king, exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no matter of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. You know, that's what we've got to do tonight. We've got to believe upon God. You know, we might go through some trials, we might go through some tribulations, but we'll come out of it if we believe upon God. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, their children and their wives. And the lions had mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. Then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and language that dwell in all the earth, Peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, and steadfast forever. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivereth and rescued, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who had delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. If we obey God, we will prosper tonight.